So I'm kind of, you know what's funny is that Tengus normally have a long nose. So when I heard about this Tengu character, I was like, what's he gonna look like? Is his nose gonna be long? Hello everyone, it's Lily, and today I will be doing a mini info video on an otome game called Dairoku Ayakashimori, or in English, Dairoku Agents of Sakuratani. So I haven't played this game yet, however I have been asked to do like a video after collecting info and stuff, so what I've done is gone through loads of reviews and picked out the things that I think are quite important when deciding to buy this game or not. So as always, I'll go through the plot, the characters, and the system, and then my general thoughts on it. Now, so the plot. It's basically about this girl who can kind of see spirits and stuff, you know, spirits, apparitions, things that normal humans can't see. And she goes and applies for a job in this place, however ends up getting a different job because she gets recruited by the poster boy, essentially, called Semi, who kind of recruits her to join this job, where she basically helps these creatures, so Ayakashi, safely travel from their world into the human world and make sure like nothing happens. And so I think it's quite slice of life, so not so much a story game but more a character game, as I call it, where you focus more on the interaction between the main character and the character themselves, and you know, feel like, oh, how cute about certain characters. So in terms of system, I've heard it takes about 40 to 50 hours to complete. It seems quite sort of simple to complete because you have like a flowchart system where you kind of know exactly where you are in terms of the story, and you know, you can start after you've completed it, you can go back and start at whatever point. How it works is that there is a map, and you kind of basically, you'll see like the little head picture of each character pop up, and of course you'll kind of decide which love interest you want to complete first. So you'd kind of, you know, pick the character, whatever that character is, and that will in turn increase your affection points with them, and then that will lead to, you know, seeing their route essentially. Now I'm quite fond of this system because it almost feels like there is a gameplay, like you have control over what's going on. I have also heard that there is kind of like a mini fighting battle type mini game, which of course adds a little bit more gameplay. And the only issue I have heard, however, is that you can't see the level of affection with the characters other than the one that you've picked. So, you know, it can be a bit frustrating that suddenly you realize that you've increased your affection with this other character when you didn't really want to do that. Now, there are 3 ending types. There is the love ending, the friendship ending, and then like the lost love ending. And I have heard the CGs are okay and all the endings are okay, you know, but some reviews have stated that they probably would have preferred had they only had maybe 2 endings and they had worked a bit more on the CGs. But I haven't heard anything too bad about it. It seems to be decent. This is probably quite suitable for those who aren't keen on too much tragedy, because even the bad endings, it feels sad, I've heard, but it's not like, you know, people dying, and it's not like Piofiore level, let's put it that way. So I think it's a good game from what I've heard for beginners who aren't used to tragic endings, to kind of use it as a way to get used to it maybe. Now there's also what I call love capture or love catch, where whenever you pick the correct option, when, you know, the options come up, a symbol will appear to show that, you know, you've picked the right answer, which obviously helps quite a bit when it comes to completing the game, because you won't have to look through a walkthrough or a guide or anything to figure it out. You can just do it yourself, which I personally am quite fond of because I don't really like looking at walkthroughs. It feels like I'm not playing the game myself. I mean, I understand following the love catch is kind of like, you know, cheating almost, but I prefer that over having like, you know, a guide on my phone and like picking the right options according to what I've been told. I don't know, that could just be me, but so I'm quite happy that they have a love catch function. There is also a skip to next decision function, so you won't have to like skip all the text from, you know, where you are to the next option. You can just pick the next option button and it'll go straight to the wherever you haven't read, or the next option, which obviously makes it so much easy to, especially if you're a completionist like me, you know, where you want to make sure you've got every single ending. It can be quite good because, you know, you don't have to sit there for ages skipping through the text, which is really good. Now there are 5 characters. You have Shiratsuki the fox demon, you have Hira the tengu, you have Akuro, which is an oni, and you know, I find him super cute, so I'm looking for, if I do decide to play this game, which I am kind of tempted to now that I've done research, he's definitely going to be the one I'm most curious about. There's Shu the snake demon, and then there's the poster boy Semi, who is the one, like your boss and the one that recruits you. So let me quickly, you know, go through a brief description of each character from what I've seen of spoiler-free reviews. So you don't actually have a locked route order. You can just play whatever route you want, which is really great. However, I have heard that Semi should be left to last if you would like, you know, because apparently quite a few things get revealed in his route before you play the final route. So I think it's a good idea to leave Semi to last and all the others whenever. Maybe Shu reveals a bit more than the others. So I'd say, you know, something like Shiratsuki, Akuro, and Hira, and then Shu, and then Semi, and then final route is probably like the best order, if you know what I mean. Now, Shiratsuki is the fox demon. I have heard he's a very Genki character, so very upbeat. He speaks like an old man, apparently. I don't know how they portray that in English, but I've seen that in an English review as well, so it must be portrayed quite well. So I'm kind of curious what that's like. And yeah, all their ages seem quite crazy. I can't remember how old Shiratsuki is, but yeah, obviously the human is like 24 or something, but the others are like 2,400 years old or something, which is a weird thought, you know. But I guess they are Ayakashi after all, so it's a bit like Cafe Enchante in that sense. So yeah, he's a fox character, a Genki character, so Genki trope, and speaks like an old man, and I think he's one of those characters that are relatively kind of straightforward and you kind of can feel the classic otome game feel from. So next is Hira the tengu. So I'm kind of, you know what's funny is that tengus normally have a long nose. So when I heard about this tengu character, I was like, what's he gonna look like? Is his nose gonna be long? But obviously, like, that would make for such a weird love interest character because it's not like a stereotypical look. Anyway, no, he doesn't have a long nose. He's just really tall. And apparently he's a real tomboy and doesn't really warm up to the main character until towards the end. Like, so he doesn't really talk much, or things he says are a little bit tsuntsun, if you know what I mean. And but I think that's quite fun. As you know, I quite like tsundere characters, especially if they're, you know, the type that are just a little bit hiding their emotions type of thing. So I'm quite curious about him too. Thirdly is Akuro. He's the Oni and super attractive. I think, like, out of all of them, he is 100% my type. He's like tall, he's relatively muscular, and I've heard so many good things from like people on my Discord. They're like, oh, we like Akuro, and now I'm like, I want to buy this game just to play his because he just looks really nice. But yeah, he's an Oni character. Apparently he's a bit dad-like, a bit old man-like, and genuinely just a nice guy. And so, you know, yeah, I want to play his route. If only I had money. But yeah, so that's the third one. Fourth one is Shu, the snake demon. I'm not sure how I feel about him. Apparently he's a bit bossy. Like, he's supposed to be the head of the serpent people, but like someone else is actually really ruling them or something. So I don't really know much about him, and I've just heard he's bossy, so I don't know, but he does look cute. I don't know. I think he's probably the lowest on my interest, maybe. And he's also the oldest out of all of the Ayakashi that you can date. But I've also heard he has like a somewhat childish side as well. So I guess the like gap there could be quite appealing to some people. Now, the fifth and final route is Semi, who is your superior, so like your boss that recruits you, and yeah, he's human, and apparently he's quite like, he teases the main character quite a lot, and I like that trope, so that sounds like quite a lot of fun. And apparently, yeah, he's the poster boy, and he reveals a lot of information, like, you know, the things that you probably will be questioning through the other routes, hence why he's sort of appropriate to play near the end of your playthrough of this game. But yeah, I think of all poster boys though, I am kind of intrigued by him because of him, you know, teasing the main character thing. As for CGs, I believe you do get like a kiss CG, but it's not like super steamy for any of these routes. I've heard, as I said, you know, the bad endings aren't horrific in the sense that people don't necessarily die. It's just more like some things hit a little bit, but it's just a bit solemn and not like crazy. So that's good. And yeah, the CGs I'd say is, so I looked up a couple of spoiler CGs by accident, which I hate myself for, but whatever, it happens. And some of them were like nice kiss CGs, you know, none of this gap between the lips nonsense that you see. It was actually like full on, you know, what you expect. But the steam levels a lot. I think it's quite a nice balance, to be honest. I think that's kind of the level that I personally enjoy, where it's like you get a kiss CG, you get them to interact, and it's nice, but it's not like too much, you know. And I've heard also that it's really sweet looking at the interactions between the characters. It gives off of a kind of almost family feel. Now, the one sad thing and the one thing that's kind of stopping me from playing this game is that apparently the side characters are like, you know when you play a game and you're thinking, why can't I date this guy? Why, this is so frustrating. Why is he not an LI? Apparently there are loads of characters like that in this game where you're like, why are you not an LI? It's so annoying. So actually, you know what? That's what has been somewhat preventing me from wanting to play this game, because I hate that feeling. Like, oh, Kaina from Olympia Soiree, every time he appears, I'm like, why are you not dateable? So... But anyway, so that ends my quick descriptions of each character and like a couple of things. My general thoughts are that, so the reason why I haven't like properly been sort of considering buying this game is that it's slice of life, and I don't know, I'm just not feeling like Ayakashi type games. I've heard also that, you know, it's very kind of Japanesey with, you know, Japanese mythical characters. I think it would be kind of difficult in the sense that there will be some things that people may not know of, and in Japanese reviews it said that they were frustrated that in order to get the dictionary up to learn about each of these characters, you have to go into like the settings menu and like look it up, which is quite frustrating compared to a lot of other games that just give you an option to press up and it will explain it to you, like in Olympia Soiree, for example. Also, I'm really looking for more of a plot-heavy game. So, you know, judging from the feel I get, it almost feels like a slightly happier version of Cafe Enchante. Not like, you know, the theme, but more it's a character game. You have slice of life elements, and then you play the game more to enjoy the character, more so than them there being like a massive main plot that's like huge and each character shows you a sneak peek. It's not like that. It seems to be that you enjoy each of the characters, which is not something I'm looking for. So that's the reason why I haven't gotten it. However, I can see it totally being for people who, you know, like the system where you pick people on a map and then get to sort of interact with them in that sort of place, or, you know, having little battle mini games and stuff. And if you really like Ayakashi and if you really like Japanese aesthetics, the art is quite pretty. I think it's very distinct. It's by the same artist who did Bad Apple Wars. So if you like the artist, perfect. Yeah, it just has a very Japanesey feel, as you would expect from an Ayakashi game. However, I don't think it'd be too recommended from what I've seen to those who aren't really interested in supernatural or non-human characters. You want something more Western. You want something that's highly plot driven rather than enjoying the characters type of thing. Yeah, I don't think people like that would necessarily enjoy it. that being said, that's just my opinion. This is based on me going through a bunch of reviews and, you know, both in Japanese and English. So who knows, you might read a couple of other reviews and feel differently. I just wanted to make a video on it because some people did kind of say, look, I don't care you haven't played it, can you at least make like an info video? Because I guess different people like different media to learn about games, and so yeah, that's why I'm making this info video. Who knows, I may pick up the game and play it in the future, in which case I'll make a full, you know, review video. But from what I can tell, I have a feeling it would be a game that I give like maybe a 3.5 out of 5. Like that's my guess. If you know what I mean. I think my guesses tend to be relatively accurate. So yeah, but those are my thoughts. Hopefully this video was somewhat helpful. Do ask any questions in the comments below if there are any, and I'll do my absolute best to answer. If not, I'm sure someone else will. And I do have a Discord server full of those who like otome content. Feel free to join that if you'd like to interact with the otome community more. And as always, thank you very much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the content, and hopefully I'll see you in another one of my videos. Bye!